All right, we're recording. All right, welcome to HASSDISCUSSES. We are joined by bicflame. What'd you do to the background, dude?
I don't know. I'm just like fucking. There's like effects and shit.
Dude, that's dope. You ever done a Zoom raid before?
No, but that shit's funny.
Yeah, dude. One time I went on and I just made the background like I don't know, like my dick or something. I don't know. I forget. It was, everybody was like doing that shit with like nudes or whatever. But anyways, you're a musician, entertainer, stuff like that, and you dropped that new project. It was called One Big Flame, and you obviously have a lot of other stuff like that. But anyways, what else you been up to today? If it wasn't music
Just
related,
chilling with the homies. Honestly, today was a pretty lax day. We cooked some meats, playing with my dog.
cook some meats. Nice.
Yeah. We cooked steaks and shit and bacon.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Um, so was that just kind of like a little quote unquote beat tape that you dropped? Would you consider it that?
Yeah, it's just like some tracks I made that I'm really happy with.
Yeah, dude. And, dude, that second one was it sounded like oh shit.
Shit's
But
crazy.
the second track was real like what would you say the influence on that one? Because that sounded like some funk. Like that was fire.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. DJ Smokey inspired that one a lot.
Yeah,
Shouts
dude.
out DJ Smokey.
Yeah, what other funk artists are you a fan of or producers?
Tyrus White. He produced. Are you familiar with P2 the Gold Mask?
No.
He's like legendary in the underground rap scene. But him and this dude Tyrus White did a tape that's like really like classic sounding funk shit, and like old like Wolf and old Chris Travis,
Yeah, I've been
that kind of shit.
yeah, I interviewed Mr. Cisco of Schema
Oh,
Posse.
dude, yeah, he's a legend. He like back when I first started like really getting into like making beats and shit. He was like someone I looked up to a lot.
Yeah, I interviewed him because I've been fucking with Schema Posse because they got some funk artists, but
Yeah, yeah,
they do know how to get some pop artists as we've seen who blew up
yeah,
off of them. But only the interviews when I interview them, I try not to mention like, how'd you meet Lil Peep? Dude? Like I barely do that.
yeah,
I barely do that. I'm
yeah,
like, dude, because a lot of them they're really overlooked. A lot of the member like Kate Cold Blooded, Jay Green, of
yeah.
course, um, and shit like that. But you also done some like I don't even know what to call your other stuff that was on that tape, dude. But it was dope. There's like some weird, some like sort of not really rock, but the percussion was like the married track, dude. That shit that hit the core. That
Thank you, bro.
that hit the
Bro,
core, and I'm gonna use that as the end credits to a film I'll be releasing soon.
fire. Let's go.
And with I just couldn't comprehend what it would like. I don't know if you sampled anything in that, but there's like some vocal sample where it's
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
Chris Isaac. I forget the name of the song. Hold
Wicked
on.
Games,
Yeah, Wicked Game. Yeah,
dude, dude. Finally, that has been irritating me so much that I didn't know that fucking song. Like, cause I put it on shuffle like while I was planning out each shot of the movie, cause it was like some movie I wrote about like two people having an argument about Adam and Eve and how Adam and Eve's like a shitty story or some shit like that. I don't know. But um are you familiar with the Weekend song Wicked Games? Are you a fan of that?
no, I'm not familiar with that.
Are you a fan of like House of Balloons or anything like that?
That doesn't really ring a bell.
Oh word. Well like
What, what is that? Like a weekend thing?
yeah, the artist The Weekend like his old fucking first album was like
Mm.
or mixtape or whatever. But you're mentioning how like Mr. Cisco you looked up to him when you started making beats and producing. What other like artists were really inspiring and sort of formulated your sound when you got into production?
Uh,
Early stages.
well, I started like making art in general. I was my a good friend of mine put me on to XXYYXX and like Young Lean in like
Yeah.
2013, and like so all the beats off like Unknown Death, so like Young Good, Young Sherman, and like Gregor. Uh, but I never really got too much into like the producer solo shit on that. when it comes to like listening to producers like religiously, I'd say like Contact Lens was like my like still is my biggest influence and was back then too. Um, I Dress is a big inspo. I'm thinking back to like what like maybe like what like my ideal was when I was less experienced with music. Um,
Yeah.
and it was like shit like I Dress, Mr. Cisco, Contact Lens, the group that I've like been in, I guess if you want to call it like a group, but it's kind of just like a little internet family, but Team Ascension, like everyone in Team Ascension. Like I don't know if you're familiar with Solonikov or Uncle Rumpel or Adonis 1080p. This is all like early like 2013, 2014 like internet shit.
Well, I mean, I'll look into them, man. But yeah, so that's interesting. Like I dress, man. They're really like. Would you say they sort of influence your like more quote unquote poppy singy tracks that you've done?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Even to this day, like I mean, when it comes to like influences and inspirations, it's like just some like kind of like a feeling they captured well, and like something like they not necessarily like their ideas like musically, but more so like just their vibe.
The vibe, yeah, yeah. I think who they get signed to? Out of the sign, this got signed to the same label as like Claro, Girl in Red, or some shit. Are you a fan of that bedroom pop shit at all?
I think it's cool. I don't really listen to a lot of it. Um, like I listen to a lot of shit that like kind of preceded that, like Emoji and Heat and shit like that. Which I don't know. I always think of as like proto bedroom shit.
Who's that? I'll write that down.
Spelled IMOGEN space HEAP. She's like really really legendary. She's been making music for a long 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 time.
That's dope. That's dope. So like, when did you start listening to I Dress? Like a while ago, before that Jealous song blew up.
Yeah, like 2014 ish, 2015 is when I was introduced to their music.
That's dope. That's dope. So like, tell me about the first time you ever touched a DAW or whatever you use to make beats.
Uh, so my father's like into music and shit. Like he went to school for recording, and he had Ableton on his computer, and he like
You
showed
used
me how to like
Ableton.
navigate. Yeah, and he showed me how to like navigate the UI and shit. And that was kind of like my first experience with like using a DAW, and I don't know, I didn't really like Ableton too much, so I ended up getting FL on my own computer, and kind of just like fucked around in there, and like had like a MIDI keyboard. I don't even really use that anymore though.
Yeah, I feel like everybody gets that shit thinking they're gonna like. You ever seen a video of Mike Dean on a synth?
Yeah,
They think they're gonna like be like Mike Dean and go to the synth and like
yeah, wait,
ejaculate out some godly.
yeah, nah, that I'm not much of like an instrument player.
Yeah, but
Uh,
then again, I do like I don't like using. I use this for about like 1 out of 5 beats I make, but I do try and stray away from the loop bowl. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like just
yeah.
going on Looper Man and like I don't know how much you use like loops and shit. I try I use it every now and then, but I'd rather find that in some like special pack I bought or something than go to
Yeah,
a free website, if that makes sense.
yeah. I don't really. The only loops I ever really use are for like drums. Like if I want like a nice like like realistic shuffle, like you can like do shit like that with like just like a sequencer and some like live sampled drums, but which I do that too. But sometimes just to get that good organic sounding shuffle, I'll like download some breaks and shit. But
Yeah, like on the
that's,
build up, drum loops are really good if you pick a right one, and
yeah,
you get a build up drum loop, sort of double that, and
yeah,
then
exactly.
build it up, and then right when the fucking beat drops, you show a replication of the drum loop and then take the
Yeah.
drum loop out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah,
So, like,
we're giving the secret knowledge because like, but and we don't charge you for a fucking course. Like, you ever get one of them course ads? That shit pissing me off.
yeah, dude. When I was younger, I used to like I paid for like fucking Skillshare or whatever, and that shit taught me nothing.
Oh my
That shit
god.
was cheating. I did get this book called like The Secret of Dance Music Production, and that's actually a really fire book. It has a lot of sauce that you can't really get online.
Well, yeah, there's that one. You have a more bouncy track off of that. It's like Club Liar. That's
Oh yeah,
I fucking love that. Them weird that like it's just like a saw about it's
yeah.
did that real saw. I love saw beats, but like
That was like a couple different synths like layered. So like there was like the sub, but then I had like a saw wave and like a detuned square wave like on the high end like stereoized
yeah.
just to make it sound like really like wide.
Yeah, dude, that was a dope one, and the I Must Train Now that was good
Yeah.
too. But you ever heard about the this new wave that you kind of know about? You kind of know about the Cardi wave, but they're doing that rage. You ever heard of like the Mr. Rage song with Trippy?
No, I'm not familiar with that song.
But like, and now everybody's well, not everybody, but there's this sort of rage form of like Playboy Cardi type of. I don't know the whole lot of red thing. I think it's like making this new form of like rage inspired shit, and I'll definitely send you a link to the Mr. It's one of them leaks and shit that
Okay.
everybody's fucking with now. But are you a fan of like Cardi and what he's been
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. I fucking play with Cardi.
Yeah, when did you get into him?
Whenever like Broke Boy came out, that was like the first song I heard by him.
Broke Boy, what is that?
That's like some OG Playboy Cardi shit. That was like his first popular song that Mexico Drill produced it.
Yeah, my friend put me on a Mexico drill, like, and he was sending me drum. Like, my friend was sending me like a bunch of drum kits, of
Mm,
Mexico drill, because like
yeah.
apparently, it like, and he's kind of right by this, but I started using the Mexico drill drum kits when trying to make a Playboy Cardi type of beat. I started to use them as opposed to a Pierre Bourne drum kit because I like how Mexico drill is way more spacey with this shit.
Yeah.
And the From Florida with Love, he produced that for Drake, and I'm gonna be honest, that was the first Mexico drill beat I heard. You're gonna be disappointed with that, but
I don't even think I've heard that song. So
it's pretty good. He's like the whole song he's rapping about. Drake's rapping about how like he was on a bus with Kobe, and like I don't know, I don't really care about Kobe. He was a great basketball player, but like doesn't resonate with me. I don't know. Anyway, anyways, so when did you start thinking about like doing vocals for music? Or was that in the
um
beginning, or was production first?
production was kind of first, but I like wanted to do vocals. I just didn't really have like a mic, and like my father hooked me up with some like old ass like gear that was like pretty shitty, but it I was able to record shit. So I like you can't really find it online anymore, but I was making like just like ignorant rap shit in like 2015. And that's like I did some vocal shit before that, but that was when I started like doing it kind of often, and then I got like a better mic. And I don't know, just vocals is definitely like not my main focus. Just because like I had an easier and like more fun time producing. Uh, but I'd say I got into vocals like 2015. Like was like when I like really started fucking with them.
Yeah. What area are you based out of?
I grew up in Massachusetts, but I live in Providence, Rhode Island right now.
Oh, word. That's cool. That's cool. So everything is out on all platforms, but like you kind of build a huge ass fan base on fucking SoundCloud shit. But like, what was that aimless period where you didn't know what you wanted to do at all and you were like contemplating every part of your existence? Is that now or was that a while ago?
That was like pretty much the whole time I made shit up until like probably like 2019 is when I stopped. Like I started to like feel that less and like started to make more shit and like that like long time of like like discouragement, like self-doubt has it's been a journey. So I'd say like I started feel like when I started I felt that way the most and kind of over time as my know-how and skills went up, it
Mm.
just became, I don't know, like there was never really a time where I like didn't know what I wanted to do. It was more so like I didn't know how to do it. And so like the now I have a much better idea of like how to do shit that I have in my head. So
Yeah, I feel you with that. Um, what other forms of like art have you gotten into?
well, so I started like the first like medium I ever really made shit in was Photoshop, like doing like graphics and just like internet art shit. And so that was like what I did for a long time, was primarily like graphic design.
You
And
worked in
then
a graphic design place, or
yeah,
how was
that
that?
hmm
I said, how was that?
it's fun. I still do it, not as much as I used to, but I like visual shit a lot.
That's dope. That's dope.
I'm definitely a visual thinker. So
What type like do you do like advertisement type of stuff, or is it mainly just like I
um
don't know, like what type
I,
of visual art are you in? Like, do you make?
pretty much like when it comes to like my personal, just like straight up art that's not like doesn't have like utility in the sense of like marketing or some kind of like cover or something. Just pretty much like whatever I see in my head.
That's dope. That's dope. Um, over on uh a certain YouTuber, you do the sound like the music selection for a YouTuber that you work with. Um, we could go into that. We could go into that a little bit. But how'd you start working with MDE?
Just we had like some mutual friends, and not really anything related to business or art, just some homies, and they introduced us to each other, and over time, we started working more, and he offered me jobs, so I just came through, and that's what I be doing.
Yeah, that sounds dope. I want to go into the concept of being an independent creator and doing shit with homies as opposed to fucking being a robot who sucks UMG's dick. Um, do you think it's way more like helpful as a creator to like do shit with friends and people that you actually fuck with as people as opposed to like doing the latter faction of being a creator?
uh yeah, for sure. um Working for like a some kind of firm out in Cali, I don't know, I don't think that shit's good for your soul. And I think the healthier your soul is, the better your work's gonna be, and the more people are gonna connect with it. So working with friends and people you understand and like think the same as, uh, I'd say that's definitely like ideal and something I'm very grateful to have in my life.
Yeah, that's dope. I just I don't know. I feel like we're sort of. I was listening to this on Duncan Trussell's podcast because I'm a big fan of him, and he was kind of just
Who's Duncan Trussell?
one of Joe Rogan's homies who's better than Joe
Oh,
Rogan. Because like
word.
I kind of got into a period where I was like I was the Joe Rogan stereotype guy, but then I started like listening to a bunch of Joe Rogan podcasts and started like listening to a bunch of Joe Rogan's homies who I realized were way better at him at making shit, like Tim Dillon and Duncan Trussell and Joey Diaz. And yeah, so he kind of made this sort of point that once people like realize that like there will be a cultural and artistic renaissance when everybody sort of like establishes their own areas and hotspots of creativity independently in smaller towns and shit like that, as
Yeah.
opposed to everyone fucking flocking to like LA, dude. Like that there's a huge exodus, dude. But it's kind of annoying how everybody thinks LA is gonna become fucking Austin. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't really fuck with LA
Yeah,
like that.
dude. Like I don't know. I was hearing his podcast and he was talking about how he like was walking his walking his baby in the middle of like some park in LA, and some homeless person had like a machete and like waved it in the ground and stuck it in the ground, and then just like laid down and
Sounds
then
awful.
yeah, like it just like, oh my god. And you know they made a neighborhood in the middle of like in under a highway. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Oh
make little
yeah.
shacks.
Yeah, yeah, a little shanty town.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
And
that
they're
shit's
living
fun.
that for free. I know someone in California who got, and this isn't really related to a lot of shit, but he gets $450 a month from the government because he has asthma. And he can't. He hasn't been working since March of last year.
He
Like,
gets 450 a month.
I mean, a week.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, how does he live on 450 a week? To
That's what I
do,
meant.
yeah.
That's what I
I
meant.
know. I have some friends that are on unemployment like that, and they just get a lot of money from the government.
Oh my
Don't really
god.
have to do anything.
I mean, that's dope. But then again, that like encourages Andrew Yang. I don't hate Andrew Yang, but he's like offering people this paradise. But I think we gotta wait till robots happen until we go the Andrew Yang mode. Oh, have you ever gotten into a Ted Kaczynski?
No, I that name sounds familiar, but
Okay, let me introduce you to this rabbit hole. Ted Kaczynski was the Unabomber, and he wrote an entire manifesto
okay,
after
yeah,
bombing around 30 people.
yeah,
And the book's called Industrial Revolution and Its Future, and it's like the more and more society goes forward with technology, the less sane we get, or some shit like that,
that
and
makes sense.
the less purpose we have. And
Yeah,
existentialism is a complete result of the more purposelessness we are finding. The less purpose we have as humans. Does that resonate with you?
uh, I mean, yeah, in the sense of as technology advances, the soul kind of dies.
Yeah, because like
What are you saying?
I don't. We're kind of losing our touch. You know what I mean? Like when we're letting
Yeah,
all this shit do. Like the I
I
don't hate
like
VR, but like,
mail order like meal prep shit and like all these like subscription services and
oh my god, they sicken me.
being able to like survive off of your phone is pretty fucked. I don't fuck with that.
I've I did something very controversial. Not really controversial, but I canceled my Amazon subscription. Like fuck it. I don't need that. Like I only buy something from Amazon once every 3 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I don't have Amazon Prime.
good. Okay. Audience, lose that subscription. Subscribe to patreon.com/Mike Media Inc. Anyways,
Buying shit online just kind of sucks. I try to avoid it unless it's like something I can't get like locally.
yeah, and what I do, even though the the white woman on Instagram who posts a bunch of shit about what they wear, even though that shit annoys me, um I do enjoy the fact that a lot of these like females I know, they fucking go thrifting. I fuck with that. And I think a lot of
Yeah.
guys should do that too, or some shit.
A lot of people thrift out here. There's like a couple like big thrift stores in my city.
That's so dope.
Most of my shit's thrifted.
For real? Like what you're wearing
Yeah.
now, or like One out of four.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't thrifted. It's from some kid on Instagram that will like thrift shit and then sell it. So, but
It's the same principle, you know.
essentially these are like thrifted. But for a long time, like all of my clothes came from Savers. If you're familiar with Savers.
Is that like Marshalls?
No, it's like just a huge thrift store. It's kind of like
Oh,
Marshalls, but everything's like secondhand.
I feel that though, like yeah, like there's such a rise of like Marshalls or home goods or
Yeah.
what else is there? There's another one of them shits.
TJ Maxx.
Oh God. Um.
I fuck with Marshalls. I can't lie.
Yeah, Marshalls is dope, but like I want to see more thrift stores locally in the Delaware area besides Goodwill. Like it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Like Goodwill is not the only fucking thrift store. Like Jesus. But you know, fuck it. I'm about to go instead of ordering Dune Messiah on Amazon. I'm gonna go to a thrift store and look for it
Yeah. That's way more enriching for your human experience.
and
So
adventurous and stuff like
exactly.
that. You know what I like though? I think what I've been analyzing this in my head about the 80s and 70s is that the reason people fuck with the 80s and 70s that much is because it was this sort of median period
Yeah.
before a lot of before barely any technology at all, and then too
Yeah.
much technology, and how like media was very physical. Media was
Yeah.
physical, very, you could share it all the time. Like I just had this weird experience, and it's not really that weird if you were in the 80s and 70s. I let someone borrow a Soul's CD. He's like a Doom Shop Records guy with Freddie Dredd and shit like that. I let him borrow a Soul's CD at work and stuff. So I lended him a CD. Like,
That's cool.
and like that was like, I'm a youngin. Okay, I'll just say that.
How old are you?
I'm like 17.
Oh shit. Word.
But that was a fucking that was like one of my first ever experiences, like lending someone physical media. You know what I mean? Do you agree with the whole 70s, 80s things I said?
Yeah, for sure. I think that about like even like the early 2000s I think was where that started.
Sure.
Like, like the dot-com boom, but even then like using the internet wasn't exactly like this like convenient leisurely thing. It like kind of sucked. And I think that was good though.
With the CD games and shit. Like you like
Yeah, and just like you said, like shit was a lot more physical. It was much like it was much more balanced out time. Uh, because I mean I've fallen victim to the social media bug like everyone else. I use
yeah, it would
my
be
phone.
nothing
Yeah,
without that.
but I yearn for the days of not having instant access to everything and everyone.
Yeah, but I feel like what people got to realize is like there's not going to be some automatic massive apocalyptic event that's going to resort everyone back to primitivism, and you got to sort of
I wish
pave
it
your own.
were,
Oh
but
my god, please, dude. Um
nah, I think the reality, if things go in positive direction with that, is it'll just come down to human will and
decentralization or some shit.
yeah, and people just choosing to not participate in or indulge in information as much as they do now.
Dude, okay. You kind of brought up a concept which I've sort of debated in my head, is that information is fucking sickening, and it's bad,
Yeah.
and it's
Hmm.
overrated, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree.
It is.
I like just being retarded, dude. That's my shit.
Dude, that's
I don't read anything. I haven't read a book in a long time. I mean, shouts out books though, but I don't really be like looking into shit that much unless it's
yeah.
something I'm trying to learn about that'll like add to a skill I'm building.
Yeah, I read, but like 3 books a year, that's it.
Yeah.
Like
I mean that's I think books are cool. I fuck with books. I just don't like have a super great attention span when it
you're
comes to
not
read.
I don't think anybody is. I don't even think Ty Lopez is this, but I don't think anybody could be Ty Lopez.
Yeah, I mean I know some people that like read all the
I'm
time,
going to
but
read a book a day, dude.
yeah, nah, fuck that.
Oh
But
my
a
god.
couple books, a few books a year, I think that's probably good for your brain.
Yeah. Like I just got done this fucking Charles Manson MK Ultra book about how like Charles Manson had a lot to do with the MK Ultra program in the '60s with the CIA and shit. That was just like cool shit.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, just some random interesting shit. And that I just treat that like Lord of the Rings, really, like, which is what I think people should do with conspiracy theories or whatever. They're
Yeah, yeah.
treat it like Hollow Earth theory. You ever gotten into that? I
Yeah,
wonder.
yeah, I think that shit's funny. My roommate Jet, I'm guessing you're familiar with Jet Neptune.
Yeah.
I live with him, and he loves that. Like, have you heard of Space Busters?
No.
It's like just some dude that like it's hard. He like tries to say like humans like can't go to space, and that like space station footage is fake, and that like the moon is fake and shit. And
Yeah, like
but like
I don't believe that, but I'm fine with people, you know.
he's tapped that guy in particular. Like he thinks he talks about like giants like having like roamed the earth and like the mud flood and shit.
Dude, yeah. Oh, there's like footage of like there's like some fucking Kentucky, not Kentucky, but there's like people like there's footage of like giants that they found and like and shit, and they're like frozen or some like the theory is like it's not like giants came out of fucking nowhere or some shit and they
Yeah.
live on a. The theory is that the asteroid belt used to be a planet and it got into a war with the civilization that was on Mars, and Mars was actually the asteroid belt used to be a super planet. Mars was the super planet's moon, and that they both got into a giant war with each other, and basically what happened is the asteroid belt destroyed because it used to be a super planet, and then they ended up fleeing to Earth and shit.
That's pretty next level.
But
That
isn't
would be
that dope?
cool. That would be sick if that was real, but like I really don't think that's real.
And that the what Australia, I mean no, fuck. Antarctica at the time was a fucking tropical place or some shit, and they ended up people on Earth shot a laser beam and shot the plant, and that Earth at the time was like an advanced, I don't fucking know, but Atlantis used to be on Earth or some shit. I don't know. You ever gotten like the theory that Atlantis is real?
Yeah. I wish Atlantis was real. I like growing up. I would always look up like Atlantis unsolved mysteries and shit. Like I always fucked
Yeah,
with Atlantis.
and
I
that
want it to be real.
and
I
that's
hope
why like I
so.
fuck with the DC universe a bit, because they do. I think a lot of comic books really do this. They pull a lot from the tinfoil hat community,
Yeah, yeah.
and I fuck with that. Like Hydra, it's basically New World Order, dude. Think about it. You know what I mean?
I'm not familiar with comic book shit at all, really.
The you don't watch Marvel?
Nah.
Uh, it's fine, it's fine. But what other like sort of things have made you sort of neglect or not really fucking care about information and shit?
I don't know. I'm really into my social life and nature, and I don't know. I think there's a lot of like there's a lot of information just in the details like around you physically and in your thoughts and you know your mind's eye. So I don't know. I explore a lot of shit that isn't like you know written down.
What would
I
that
don't
be, or
know,
if you want to
but
get into it?
I really just like looking around at stuff and like you know just studying my environment and also like just creating shit in my head and interacting with people and just kind of you know like being alive I guess and
Yeah,
I don't like as a result of that I don't really tend to absorb like or seek out information on the internet unless like that. I mean it's not like I don't like it at all. Like I do like read into shit
yeah,
but mostly like music related shit
yeah,
and like just reading kind of like reading into stuff that you know directly impacts what I do on a day-to-day basis.
That's dope. That's dope. I think you see a lot of people not doing this form of life, or do you see like people now and like are obsessed with like always finding out some dirt on someone, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't really fuck with that. I mean, there's been people I don't like where I'm like, I wonder if there's anything like embarrassing about them, and like, but I don't know. I think
Yeah.
like social games like that, especially on the internet, are kind of just like a waste of energy.
Yeah, well, like I let me talk to the audience real quick. I'd advise you, if you have someone you want to get dirt on. I don't really want you to do this, but if you want to get dirt on someone, just type their name, go to Twitter or Reddit, one of the two, both shitty websites that I've deactivated my account from. Anyways, you go to that site and you type in the name of the person and then exposed. You'll find something. You'll find something, dude. Like there's even one for Jack Harlow where it's like he went to a party without a mask on. That's all they could find.
I've typed in like blank exposed like celebrities and stuff. I'm like actors I like. I'm like, I wonder if they're like, I typed in like Alec Baldwin exposed, and like there's Matt Alec Baldwin's fucked. Fuck off Alec Baldwin.
And Mel Gibson.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the South Park episode they did about him, like when I was like little, I never fucked with Mel Gibson.
Yeah, and then who else is Eric Clapton.
Is he a bad guy?
I don't know. He just said something slightly. Nah, I think it was fully racist at like some show in England. I don't know.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Color. Anyways, who else? Adam 22.
That guy's an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, low key inspirational, but like for me, because I'm a podcaster and just seeing the way he did shit. But like his old, like the glory days. I like the glory days of Adam 22. When because I think, and this inspires me a lot, is the store setup he had, where everybody would just like, wouldn't you right now? Let's say everything was completely, the societal state was a bit even and normal. Wouldn't you love to just, I don't know if you do this, but go to the No Jumper store if everything was normal and just like be like, try and get one of his vlogs? Like I feel like a lot of people did that, and I think a lot of musicians would like to do that now, but like he's like all like corporate and has a private studio. But then again, I do understand why it is fucking annoying to like, get your shit robbed.
Yeah. Yeah, that video is crazy. Him getting straight up robbed on a podcast. So sick.
Yeah, that was like, and the way he just kind of was like, and grabbed it. That was that was beautiful. Yeah, and you know what happened the second time, but it was like kind of off camera.
Oh, okay.
But that was around 2018 and shit. But I'm not gonna lie, I do watch a lot of new No Jumper stuff, but I do prefer going back to the Craig Zen interviews, or like the Schema Posse interviews, or even had one with like Brian Gosling or some shit, or they got a bunch of crazy interviews, and they had Danny Duncan. I think so. That was a good one. And the X one. I don't know if you like X.
I watched that because a friend, like when that came out, a friend like linked it to me and was like, yeah, this guy's smart. But I never really got like into X at all.
What about someone in that lane? I want to ask if you're a fan of Suicide Boys.
I never really got too into them either. I mean they're cool though. Like I fuck with them.
You know what you should hear.
I think they're talented.
Okay, let's talk about Suicide Boys, but I'm gonna relate it to someone who you really enjoy, Mr. Cisco. Okay, so there's a beef between Mr. Cisco and Suicide Boys that Mr. Cisco told me briefly. He said that one of the members of Suicide Boys consistently was like begging him and shit for like drum kits and stuff, like drums and shit. He was like, yo, Mr. Cisco, I want this drum, I want this drum, I want this drum. And he consistently was like giving him drums and stuff, like one of the members of Suicide Boys. This is like way before they blew up, but when Mr. Cisco was bigger than the Suicide Boys.
Yeah.
And then they ended up just using a bunch of like Mr. Cisco's drums and like not paying like for it, and they went to like Detroit, which is where Mr. Cisco's from, and Cisco and his brother were hitting him up. They're like, hey, we're you're in our hometown. Can we show up and open for you guys? And dead silence, nothing. Never gave Mr. Cisco any opportunities, and they used a bunch of Mr. Cisco's drums, which are like really what people know them as.
Yeah.
They used a bunch of them for like some like one of the 3-6 Mafia members. They executive produced a mixtape for one of the 3-6 Mafia members, and they used a bunch of Mr. Cisco's drums throughout the entire tape. And they also have not given. They basically fucked over a lot of Schema Posse members and shit who really put them
Yeah.
in the. Yeah.
And that's kind of how shit went at that time when like because Suicide Boys and like like Little Peep, Ghostman, they were all and X, they were all really the first to like go like commercial in the underground. Like there was like Bones and Wolf and stuff, but they didn't really ever get the same like insane momentum that Suicide Boys and that kind of shit got. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's like easy to not really care about putting people on when you're getting hit up by record labels and you have a manager and shit. So like
Yeah, I do feel
I
that.
doubt it. Like say Cisco's like, and this isn't anything against Cisco, but say like you hit them up, being like, yo, like, can we open for you guys? It's probably not even up to them at this point. Um, Which I don't really know how I'm going with that, but it just
Okay, I do what you
I've
get.
seen
All
a
the
lot of people
managers
get,
and all that bullshit. Yeah, the managers and.
yeah, and I've seen a lot of people get switched up on by like those people. I know a lot of people that worked with Peep and not so much Suicide Boys. I have a couple of friends that worked with
Okay, who
them.
you know that'll work with Pete?
Boyfruit and Derek Dean, who now goes by So What I'm Dead. They were like some of the first, like before Peep was Schema Posse or anything. They worked with him a lot. And a friend I haven't spoken to in a long time. He used to go by Zanny Phantom. Um, he produced 300 Feet Below by Lil Peep and Boyfruit. And that was some like real classic underground shit. I remember like Peep. I don't even think Peep had like 1,000 followers yet. Um,
Shit.
but when he blew up, and even like when he blew up after Schema Posse, like when he left Schema Posse is really when that's kind of why he left, is because he got called up to fucking Gothwick, like. But that shit's like not easy to maintain like mentally. So Pete like stopped talking to pretty much all those people, and it wasn't like it was because he was like tried to snake them or anything. It's just when you have like so many eyes on you, you're not like you're focused on like a very limited amount of shit
Yeah.
outside of what there's not much room for priorities outside of your like immediate circle. I feel that's how I'd picture it.
That's an interesting perspective, and but I feel like a lot of people in the underground that have affiliated themselves with someone who happened to blow up, they end up they're so very like the whole every day they tell themselves, "Bro, I'm underground, dog. My
Yeah,
fans, underground fan base and shit like that." But they do like, you know what I mean? They really kind of like. There's a lot of regret and remorse when
yeah,
they think that shit should have went a different way and stuff like that, which I completely
yeah.
understand, man.
I mean, I've been in that spot myself, like because I've been around for a long time and I'm very social. So there were a lot of people I knew that I had somewhat decent connections with that I lost touch with when they got on, and a lot of those people I've actually reconnected with now that I'm more established. And when you get a career off of art, you can't really afford to fuck with people that aren't like at least on like a somewhat similar level, because even if like for me art is still very rawly. I don't even know if that's the word, but it's very raw passion still, even though that's how I make money. But I can't really afford the time to work with someone just for the sake of working with them. Even though that's something I want to do a lot. So I think there's like a lot more to it that people kind of ignore because they want to be on, and they're kind of salty that they're not, and it's just how it goes. Like, and not everyone gets to eat at the same table, you know, and so like there's people that kind of like switched up on me where back in the day I was like, damn, like I don't know what happened. Like we used to be friends, and like now they're like they blew up, and like I don't hear from them anymore. But I don't know. I guess like for lack of a better term, kind of respect that as long as it's if you're not like going out of your way to disrespect someone, and you're kind of just doing your own thing. Like I think it's within everyone's rights to talk to somebody or not talk to them. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be the reason. The reason doesn't have to be that they don't fuck with you because you're not popular or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know.
Or
I know
because
what
they
you
don't
mean.
like respect you. Like life's complicated. Like you can only like maintain so many moves at the same time.
I feel that. I feel that. Like I don't expect anything from a verified person that I would hit up for an interview. I've spoken with a very popular funk artist, probably one of the most popular funk artists out of any of the new funk artists,
True.
and he respectfully declined. I'll just say this: Freddie Dredd. I talked with
Oh,
him,
word, word.
but he declined my interview, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, it's just how it goes, man. Like there, and like you're young as fuck too, and you're like kind of you already have like a pretty good like following, and you're good at engaging with your audience, which is good. So
you've been
like
observing.
yeah, yeah, I've checked you out and shit. I'm not about to go do. If I didn't think your shit was like something, if I didn't respect your work, I wouldn't do your podcast. I checked you out, and like I think your grind is good. It seems like you have a good work ethic. Uh, so just like keep going, and you'll get the connects you want to get like as time goes on. Like which
Yeah,
is something I had to learn because I didn't, 2019 was like when I first had 1,000 followers on anything.
yeah,
Before that, like it was really hard to get in touch with people, like because, like I was saying before, time is money. So if someone's hitting you up and they don't really have like many moves that they're making, uh, I don't know. I don't really. I guess that doesn't even really apply to me though, because like a lot of the people I talk to and like plan on working with are like people with like 400 followers. But uh, I don't know. I'm high. I just kind of lost my train of thought. So
I get what you mean. Where you're
I guess
saying
that's that.
you shouldn't have so much expectations for an artist or
Yeah,
someone that
yeah.
you're working with, and it's don't be afraid of rejection and
Exactly. Because nine times out of ten, it's nothing personal, and it's not like any disrespect to you or what you're doing. It's
this
like
could be
sometimes.
applied for a lot of fields, but
Yeah.
since the creative, since not really sadly, but realistically, the creative field is filled with a lot of status oriented people. That's just how
Yeah.
things go,
Yeah.
man.
Exactly. And like I can't say I really operate like that. I don't really give a shit about status, but I understand why some people do.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Like I was like I don't judge that much based on numbers. A
yeah,
little bit, but what I do judge, which is very important, is other people's work ethic.
yeah, exactly.
Like I asked someone, hey, can I have this track by Sunday, man? Just check the email, man. He gave the whole verse on the whole. We're releasing it tonight. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
that's
yeah, that's fire. I need to get my work ethic is kind of when it comes to certain shit. It's definitely improved a lot, but I'm kind of one of those people that I'll be like, yeah, I'll send it on this day, and like I get like busy with other shit, and I end up like I definitely procrastinate too much.
yeah, man. I mean, I think procrastination. It's a problem, but if it's in the form of like you've done probably 5 things in like 1 hour and you take a 4 hour nap, that ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your
Yeah, yeah.
procrastination is, but I do think that a lot of people, and I've been doing this recently, not really recently, I've been doing this my whole fucking life. Take big ass naps. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, you seem like you're the type of kid that like you seem pretty on the ball with shit. You seem pretty punctual. So I think that's something you could afford. If I like peppered a nap into my day, that would take all my momentum out. I wouldn't do anything.
Well,
I would I
I mean,
would
if I were to describe my day, dude, is like either do work in the morning. It's either work or school, and then I just go home, nap, and then I wake up at around nighttime, and then I just fucking stay up till 4 a.m. fucking grinding out like
that's
As
fire
Gary
though.
V says. You gotta get out content. You gotta get out. I
Yeah.
fucking hate Gary V. Anyways, um, um, there's a lot of you can look up a rant on Gary V by someone this gentleman knows very good perspective on Gary V. But I don't know. I think the point about Gary, I think what's interesting about Gary V is how he's made an entire career saying nothing. That's
I
fascinating.
I don't really I'm not really familiar with him either, to be honest. I don't know shit. I'm like an actual like fucking retard when it comes to being in the loop on shit.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of just like Ty Lopez, where he just says the same bullshit, like read a book a day, or
He's
I'm in
like
my cornfield, and like he'll get a vlog or some shit. He'll be like, I'm in
yeah.
my cornfield, and this is Ty Lopez more so. I'm in my cornfield, just growing 8 different types of grain for
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for my
Like this impossible lifestyle.
yeah, and got my new Lamborghini. What I value most turns to his
Yeah.
bookshelf with
Like,
knowledge.
do you want to have what I have? You gotta work.
I used to live in a trailer, and what I like, I think self help isn't necessarily bad, but when you look for it, you have to find someone, besides in real life, because you should more so look for someone in real life to help you. But if you're on the internet finding helpful information, find someone that's gonna be fucking realistic and tell you that fear is good, because that's a good thing. Fear is a great thing if you put it in the right direction. Like my concept is use anger to conquer fear, and then you move forward. I don't know. That's just some fucking bullshit I thought of when I was like in the shower. Anyways,
That's not a bad way to think about it.
yeah, that's why my
Uh,
name's Mad Snake. My music name. It's like Mad Snake with 2 D's.
that's a good name.
Yeah, and my music group's a Circle of Serpents and shit.
Oh, cool.
And like, I mean, I'm gonna ask a really shitty question, but why is your name Big Flame?
So that's not a shitty question. It makes sense.
I don't know. I just hate asking shit like that. Anyways,
Ask any questions you want, bro. If it's something like I don't want to answer, like I'll tell you. But don't worry about that. Uh, so I've gone by like a lot of different names through the years, and I would make aliases for different concepts that didn't necessarily fit into one persona. I would like make a Twitter account for something else, and I was at the time I was making music as Cloud Pure was my original
that's good.
uh or that was before Big Flame, and before that I'm just kind of giving you a little lore. Not that it really pertains too much to the question, but
Please.
like I don't know. I had a bunch of names, and I made the name Cloud Pure because it was like kind of just like a neutral name that I liked, and I because I wanted to experiment and like didn't want like a specific like aesthetic or whatever.
Yeah.
And, and then I started doing rap shit, and that didn't really fit with like the Cloud Pure stuff. It was a little more like crude and a little more negative, and I wasn't trying to make like negative shit as Cloud Pure. So I was coming up with rap names, and like it just popped in my head, Lil Big Flame, and then so I was going by Lil Big Flame. That was like my rap shit, and then I was doing like instrumental like production stuff as Cloud Pure, and just over time I started taking the Big Flame shit more seriously, and that was sticking a lot better. And
At Big
I
Flame, like shit like that. Like how you say that shit in a sentence or some shit, like at Big Flame. Like some shit,
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
just sounds.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And people just kind of were drawn to that a lot more. And I wanted to detach from like SoundCloud rapper. So I took the Lil out of my name and just kind of made it just one word. And so yeah, that's where I'm at now with my artistic alias. And it's funny because it kind of came full circle. And with like the Cloud Pure name, like it's neutral and doesn't really. I mean, it's like related to weed because it's like a lighter, uh,
Yeah,
but it's not like if you hear Big Flame or see Big Flame, you don't think like SoundCloud rapper, or
yeah,
you don't think like there's nothing in particular that comes to mind, or at least that's like how I kind of try to present it because I like being able to explore, different concepts and stuff without having to delegate it to a bunch of different aliases and side projects. I like being able to kind of make whatever I want as one like stamp or one brand.
one being,
Yeah, exactly.
one artistic
Uh,
soul.
yeah, exactly. It's just I just be vibing.
I just be vibing.
Yeah,
That should be on your tombstone.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, what's another? This is one joke, and it's like this guy asked the other guy, he's like, what should be on your tombstone or something? Like Tim Dillon said that he wants to make this on his tombstone. It's I didn't pay for this.
That's hard.
Yeah, that's a good one. Um,
I like that.
Let me think what I would put on my tombstone. I don't know. I don't know. I'll think about that.
I don't even want a tombstone, bro.
You want to be cremated?
Nah, I just want to be fucking like put in a hole in the middle of the woods or some shit.
You want to get murdered?
No, I just like don't. I don't know. I don't really fuck with like. I fuck with graveyards, but I don't really want. I just want to be like eaten by wolves or something. Like if I die, just like throw me into the woods. Let fucking animals eat me.
Hmm.
I think
Damn.
that's cool.
If I were to, I'd jump off a plane.
Yeah, that'd be fresh. I'm not necessarily saying how I'd want to die, but like
Well,
how
yeah,
I'd want my death handled.
yeah. Like,
Like I don't really fuck with like funerals. I'm not like atheist but I'm not like religious either. So I'm an earther. I'm a real lifer. So I just want to be part of the circle of life, I guess. Which I mean, you can be as I don't want to be filled with fucking like embalming fluid and shit, and like I don't want to have my fucking organs harvested. Like I just want to like just like you would see a fucking deer in the middle of the woods that fucking died. Like like you just got like
yeah,
sick and died or something. Like I want to be on that tip.
I fuck with that. I fuck with that mentality. But yeah. Are you vegan? Oh wait,
Nah.
you just told me earlier you're eating steaks.
Yeah, eating steaks, bro. No, I'm not vegan at all. I'll
Okay.
never be
No, I
vegan.
used to be. It was the most overrated. I feel like there's a new fucking. Everybody's like, I'm gonna try the ketogenic diet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do
everyone wants to
intermittent.
fucking keto's retarded unless you're like really overweight. And like even then, like I have friends that do keto and it works for them. But I'm not really like I would never suggest to someone to do it, like try a diet. Like I don't know, I don't eat very well, but I think just if you just eat like whole foods and like eat shit that's good for you in general, I think that's the wave. And like just take care like generally take care of your well being. I think like diets are kind of a shortcut and I don't know. I don't trust like blanket it's like a blanket statement for your health. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're defined by the fucking whatever you prep or some shit or do.
Yeah,
Like,
and I mean keto's like pretty you don't have it's not too restricting. Like it's kind of just like low carb diet and like low sugar.
my point is, I don't hate keto, but what I hate is the fact that every 2 to
People are
5
like, yeah,
years.
you should try keto.
You should try Atkinson's. You should try
Yeah,
the
yeah,
food
exactly.
pyramid or something.
Exactly. Like there's like the scientific way to think about it, and like like take a look at what your stats are, and then see how a certain diet would affect those stats, and then go from there. But it's not like you have no reason to start a keto diet. Like I don't think it's a good idea to start a keto diet just because someone's like, you should try keto.
Yeah, you should heavily research or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel that.
yeah. You're just know what you're doing with your body, like,
Yeah.
which is easier said than done, I think, because I just eat fucking slop all the time. I don't really eat. My diet's not too good, so like I can't really say that much as someone that doesn't eat right.
Yeah.
But
I've
I don't think
been
I'd ever fuck with a diet.
I've been in and out of diet since I was about 9. Let's just say I could work on a lot of stuff, but I still work out 3 to 4 times a week and
I did.
try and count my calories as much as possible.
Yeah, I think that's really like I wouldn't even consider I wouldn't consider that a diet as like much as just knowing what
Regulation.
you're yeah, exactly, knowing what you're doing with yourself.
I think
Which
regulation is key.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I think I'm very but what I don't know. I think everybody should just learn how to regulate, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's something I definitely need to do because I don't really exercise enough, and I don't eat right, so I'm trying to get regulated.
Yeah.
I gotta start working out more.
Yeah, what I'd say is it's very you got to it's like kind of you gotta wire yourself, you know. You gotta wire
Yeah,
yourself for a lot of things in life. I think any career, any field, you gotta wire yourself. You gotta wire like if you're doing the creative process, um, I don't know how long you've been like it all starts from something, you know. Even though in the end, or in the modern or in the present, you could be doing a completely different form of art you've been doing since before, but it all stems from one instance when you got something, one instance when you started drawing something. It all stems from something, and like I think with diets, you really gotta fucking wire yourself and like analyze. But also, I think with diets though that a lot of people should try is like or working out in general is like CrossFit or some shit like that.
yeah.
It's
I
fun, man. It's fun.
It's funny you say that because I haven't done it yet. I was gonna sign up for this gym, like CrossFit gym at the end of my street that does like classes and shit. Just because I'm not really good at. I tend to bite off a lot more than I can chew, so there's a lot of shit I want to do, and then I kind of end up doing like one out of the five things that I want to do because I say yes. I tell myself yes to everything, and so
Yeah.
that's kind of one of the things that got sidelined. But I that's something I've been meaning to do is sign up for that because having like classes that I have to pull up to, um, I don't know, some's a lot better about that to me than just pulling up to a gym and like
Not knowing what the fuck you're doing.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
someone just being like, yo, lift this like this and do that this amount of times and
Yeah,
you'll get
yeah.
ripped. Like that's what I need. So um, I fuck with coaching. I want more coaches in my life.
Yeah, man. CrossFit, man. And sometimes they have you run outside, like run to like 400 meters and back or some shit. And you know, you just like they get you running in the middle of the street. I don't know how whatever your gym does, but it's all kind of the same principles, and it's very like fast paced, and you're just kind of it's like kind of do 50 do like 50 squats within 10 minutes with like over 75 pounds or some shit but in between each one you do like 10 burpees or some shit like that,
Yeah.
and you have a partner that you alternate with while they run. I don't know, some bullshit, like it'll be like some crazy intense
Yeah. They the place it's called like a CrossFit gym, but they're kind of more like laid back, which I fuck with because like primarily what they do is they do like flexibility training, so like yoga and shit, and then like body like just basic bodybuilding stuff. So it's not necessarily like the CrossFit like that everyone thinks of. They kind of I don't even know why they call it CrossFit because it's not, but um
Yeah. Well, it's
yeah
fun. It's fun either way. Just like working out with people, or just yeah.
yeah
It's just
and
yeah,
people that like are motivated and
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of fuck with the idea of like not really knowing the people I'm working out with too, because it's like I feel like
Yes,
it's harder to
mystery,
fuck
dude.
up. Like,
I don't
because
know
with your
anybody's
boy,
name.
like
I don't even know the
yeah,
teacher's name.
and like with your boys, like I feel like it's easier to kind of goof off and like
Oh,
and kind of get like bored.
I don't work out with any of my friends.
Yeah, I don't really either, unless I'm like skating. And no, that's not true. When I do work out, it's with my friends. I just don't really work out that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to take shit by the reins, bro. Cause like, look at me, bro. I'm fucking look like an alien. I'm trying to get ripped.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Everybody should try shit like that. But what I would advise to anybody that's just getting into that, you maybe a potential audience member, is fucking like do it in the morning.
Yeah,
Please do it in the morning.
yeah.
Try
I
as much
think
as possible.
on kind of on the same note as that, sleeping is really important. The happiest the highest points I've experienced are when I sleep well
Yeah,
and like
I try and sleep well, but I also try and work out like before like fucking I work out before school, bro. Like that's what I'm
that's
on
yeah,
right now.
that's good. You got a good head on your shoulders because when I was 17, bro, I was skipping school and like smoking blunts. I had dropped out of school when I was 17. So like you're off to a pretty good start, bro. You're pretty early to the pump.
What to the lifestyle?
Yeah, just being successful and healthy. So like
Thanks.
it's not very common, especially for someone at your age to be that driven and to have that much self discipline. So I commend that.
Thanks. I'm fucking trying, man. Like, but I just yeah, I like to try and talk about that because like I don't know what struggles the audience members are going through because like I try to appeal this to like up and coming creators when I have artists on or some shit, but I also like to sort of get in the lifestyle things even though I'm not the best at it. I feel like it's better to like be shitty at something.
Then do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Cause like with when it comes to like doing shit that's good for you, like you said, like it doesn't matter your skill in it. The same way with like this is like how skateboarders kind of treat each other at the skate park. Like if there's someone there that like can barely skate, like no one's like, oh look at this idiot. You know what I mean? Like it's dope that he's skating. Like he's so just doing like you said, like doing something even if you're shitty at it is better than just sitting around. Like I would definitely benefit from doing like a shitty workout and sucking with form or something than just sitting on my computer.
Yeah. I feel that. And I get what you're saying by that, and that could be tied to art too. But I think what kind of sucks is when people that do art that are shitty act like they're the creator of the universe, and
Yeah,
they should just. I think even if you're good at something and you know you're good at something, try and appeal like you're just having fun, even if like I don't,
yeah,
I think even if you're really good at something and you know you're good at something, still just like try and fucking not necessarily intentionally downplay, but force yourself to like not really. How do I say this? I know that I don't like to go into a room and I don't like to talk about my fucking success or when I'm meeting
right.
someone that I'm doing something with. I'm not like, "Hey dude, guess what? I have X amount of sponsors, dude. I've been on the YouTube sphere since about 2019, bro, but I've been making content since I was 5, bro." Like I'm not fucking going into a conversation saying that bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, bro, that song was crazy, man. Like, I'm asking the genuine, interesting questions. I'm not like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm saying
That's the best way to do it.
that's the way to do it. Like, you gotta just avoid appearing as a shitty resume.
Yeah, definitely.
To people in general. But
Yeah, I'm
let's
always
end
turned
this.
off by that. When people hit me up being like, "Oh, like I do this and that, bro."
Dude,
Like,
I worked with this guy.
yeah, I don't, because like I don't give a shit about that. Like, especially like when someone's shit like isn't very good and they're saying that stuff. Like, I don't know, it's just not someone I want to fuck with. Like, I care more about working with people that are just like trying to make something happen. Uh, in
Yeah.
terms of creativity or anything. Uh, like when people hit me up being like, "Yo, your work is beautiful. Like we should like it would be really fun to make something with you." Like that's what I respond to the most, I'd say, versus someone that's like, "Dude, like we gotta like me and you gotta do this, bro." Like off rip, like people that like I don't really mind when I've been chatting with someone and then they are like, "Dude, like we gotta like make some moves, blah blah blah." Like I know this person, that person, or whatever, but someone that like instantly will send me like mad paragraphs being like, "Dude, like blah blah blah," and like you said, like appearing as a resume or like
Yeah, yeah,
sending a
yeah.
resume.
That shit. Oh, that's
It
fucking
just seems it seems not very
creative.
genuine.
That is that's a killer.
It
Killer
looks
to a conversation killer is
Yeah,
paragraphs.
right. Because
Holy
what do you even
shit.
gotta say? What do you even say to that? Like besides like, because all that really like leaves for you, as someone on the other end of the conversation is to like ask questions about what they just said, and then that just snowballs, and they just keep talking about themselves.
Oh my
Versus,
god. And also, I just want to say this to anybody talking to over text, talking to a girl, a guy, a kite, a they them. Do never send more than 4 sentences on a text.
yeah, I'd be sending walls, bro. I
Please.
send messages. You're right though. That's like something I always
Oh
like
my
think
god.
like to work on. I'm like, damn, I just sent like so many messages.
Yeah, like to whatever acquaintance you're fucking with.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that,
saying?
it's
Yeah.
it's good. Like, funny enough, this is something. I don't want to get into this too much. But in my past relationship, my ex girlfriend, she was like very critical of me, and like the last time we talked, was I was on some simp shit, and she pretty much hit me out to be like, just give me space, and like don't hit me up, and but I was sending like a lot of texts because I was like kind of thinking out loud almost, but like typing out my thoughts like without really stopping to like,
Analyze.
yeah, and like revise what I'm saying and get it out in a concise,
Yeah.
well packaged way. And so I was sending a lot of messages to her, and not on like I wasn't saying anything crazy, but it was just like not eloquent. And she's like, if you keep like sending a ton of messages and don't gather your thoughts into something, that's not gonna overwhelm me. Like, just don't send anything. And I don't know. It's funny that like even in some heartbreak shit, this girl's I'm simping over, still learning shit. Uh,
I don't know how
she's
old you
very
are
wise.
or
Very
whatever.
wise.
It's very wise of who?
It was very wise of her to tell me that, I think. It was something, because she didn't say that out of disrespect. She just was like
Yeah,
just
gibberish.
telling me to be concise because I wasn't being concise, and it was it almost comes across as disrespect. I think, um, disrespect to the conversation because it can be kind of steamrolly, I think.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I've had situations where someone else been, unless it's really important information or something like
Right,
that. Like,
right.
but most of the time, like, Like if someone asked how's your day was, 4 sentences, bro. Probably 2, please. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't. It's you don't want to be like, so I left my I dropped my credit. I left my credit card at the gas station, and
yeah. It's like
so then I had to call them 3 hours later, and then I had to drive all the way back, and then I had to verify my identity with the person at the gas station.
Yeah, that is a conversation killer.
Oh my god.
Sure. That's not very charismatic. It's not very charming.
Yeah.
There's a lot of power in like the less is more concept when it comes to talking to people, I think. Which I can't say that that's how I am at all, but I like it's something I admire in my quieter friends. That they can be quiet for like and not say much for half an hour, and then when they do talk, it's very gathered and thought out. I think that's like something that it when I talk to people, and that's something they do when they're very conservative with how much they say, and focus more on quality over quantity. I think that's very very good.
Yeah, but it's fun to be based.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think we're both based. I think we're both. I think we both gave a great episode. And do you have anything you'd like to announce before we wrap this up to your supporters or anything?
I'll just I kind of shout some of my homies out. I guess I'll do that. Shouts out Joey, and I'll like send you handles. But Joey, Jet, Tech, CEO, Facey, B9, Shoddy, Dion, the whole one team. Sam Hyde, this is my bro. I think most people know where to find him that are watching this. Juju, Rapolo, Slater, Roz, Satch, James Wallace. I'm just listing off people that I fuck with on a pretty regular basis that are worth checking out.
That's fine. Well, shouts out to them.
Big shouts out to them, and like anyone I didn't name, it's because I just like kind of gave up on shouting people out. I don't want to shout a million people out, but
he's tired, guys.
I want gang members, boys club, of course, just the gang, just the whole gang.
Of course.
Ico.
Links in the description to Spotify.
Yeah, I'll send you some links.
He'll send me some links, and support him. If you support me, do that, and comment. Tell me what you thought of this video or podcast. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave a rating over there. Tell me what you thought of the episode and stuff like that. 5 stars and shit. And also the sponsors are in the description. We got the Audible trial with the Vice props. If you want fake prop money, you can buy that shit with my referral code at HASSCash, motherfucker. 10% off. All that bullshit. Link in the description. Merch, Patreon. You know the vibes. Goodbye.